welcome to Swifties at Midnight. I'm Stephanie, and I'm so excited to have you join us. We're here to keep you in the lavender haze with the latest updates in Taylor's world and discuss the amazing love, light, and poetry she brings to all of us. Make sure to stay by subscribing, and don't forget to share with all your fellow Swiftie friends. Hi! It's very lonely here today because I don't have Anne. Anne is just feeling under the weather. Her voice isn't quite ready to have a long conversation. And so we are going to just revisit an old episode that we think you should hear again. All about Loverfest. We loved it so much. We want you to hear it again. And we're just gonna do a little bit of a throwback episode, but I'm here to give you some Swiftie news and just kind of keep it a little fresh. So I have just a little bit of Swiftie news. There really still isn't very much. We are all just like waiting around for Taylor to do something, to say something, and then today, as of recording, today is April 9th. I better fact check that. Just 1 second. Yes. Today is April 9th, and Taylor Nation jump scared all of us and released a Fearless cardigan. I'm really sorry, it's already sold out. If you didn't jump on as soon as they said, I mean, they gave a little bit of notice. They did give us some notice. They gave like a teaser trailer, and honestly, it looked like a movie trailer. Like, so cute. This couple in a high school, and they're both kind of wearing their Fearless cardigans in different ways, and yeah, it was really cute. There was some chatter about how it was presented. A lot of people really wanted to see what the cardigan was going to look like as on different models per their size, and Taylor Nation listened and did that. They also included a flat lay of the product, not on a person, because I think when the Lover cardigan came out, quote me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong on this, I do think they had models, but for the most part they had like the photo shoot photos, and they were like, I don't know, it's really hard to tell how something fits when a model is like going like this, you know what I mean? If you aren't watching on YouTube, I'm doing a dramatic pose with my blazer, but anyway. Yeah, so they jump scared all of us. We really thought something was happening. But we quickly figured out that it was a Fearless cardigan. I did not grab one. Honestly, I almost did, because in the little trailer, the little teaser trailer, it looked like there's little stars embroidered kind of on the lapel and the shoulder, and they looked forest green to me. I thought it was forest green, and then the cardigan itself was like beige or kind of more tan, I would say. And I was excited about that. I thought that was so cute. And then when I got on taylorswift.com, I could see that it was brown, and that works great for a lot of people. It was not calling to me. Wasn't calling to me. So I was like, for how much? $75? I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna wait for the OG cardigan still to come back. Maybe one day it will come back. I don't even know. And then the other Swiftie news we have, I'm gonna type this up because I don't want to get this wrong. Within the month of March, the Swifties decided that Fresh Out the Slammer was going to be the next single. On the charts. I'm figuring out how to search this. Sorry if the typing is so loud. This is weird not to do this on Zoom. And I'm on my phone and on my computer. So, yes. Wow. Fresh Out the Slammer rose to number 9 as of 3 days ago. It rose to number 9 on the global Spotify charts. Is that not crazy? So I don't understand it. I don't know why the Swifties, I know Anne would have way better insight on this. But they decided that was going to be the next single, and they gave it just a big boost, and it is having the best numbers it's ever had. It actually was one of the least downloaded songs on Tortured Poets Department, and so in March it's having a resurgence, and it's going crazy. In one day, it had 27,432 streams. So it's kind of fun because it's giving it its moment. I like Fresh Out the Slammer. I will fully admit this. I was not a fan. I wasn't a fan until I heard it maybe the 20th time. And then I was like, you know what? This is a really like a lyrical masterpiece. I love everything that she puts in there. Fresh Out the Slammer, great song. Go listen to it. Let's help the numbers go up. I have Apple Music, so I'll be listening to it on Apple Music, but I think it's fun for us as a Swiftie community to like make something happen. I don't even know why it's happening. But it's happening. So there you have it. Okay, well, that's it. That's all the Swiftie news we have. Still, nobody has seen Taylor that I am aware of. So we're just kind of sitting around waiting. This is such a long silence. Like, really, this is feeling very rep-coded. Is she intentionally recreating the Reputation era so we can have it? I don't know. I can't pretend to be inside of her head. I know she does things like that intentionally, but is that what's happening right now? I have no idea. I just know she needed a little bit of a break, super long break. I don't know. And we can give that to her, but we miss her. We do miss her. We miss everything that she was giving us. She was working so hard for so long. You know what is actually something interesting I wanted to bring up? I saw an interview with Chappell Roan, and it was just a podcast. I should fact check that. I can't remember what podcast it was. Maybe in the show notes, if I'm lucky, I will find it and I will send it to you. But she was just saying how can these girls tour and write and release music and do all this stuff like over and over and over again. It's exhausting. It takes so much out of you. And I was thinking about this. I was like, man, how did she do that? But you have to remember, she's been doing this for so long. Are we in 20 years yet? Like, probably. I'm trying to do math and it's really late. The math is not mathing. I don't think it's been 20 years yet, but we're close. We're coming up on Taylor Swift doing this for 20 years. She knows how to tour. She knows her boundaries. She knows how to write and create. Like, that's what drives her, is creations. And so I think it's just something she can, put her head down and just do. And she can do that because has the experience of doing it for so long. But maybe she pushed too hard this last time and just really needed a big break. And obviously with all the public backlash that she's been getting, I think it's a perfect storm to hide. So yeah, that's it. That's all the Swiftie news we have. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy a republishing of this next episode. Thanks for joining. Bye. Speaking of lovers, though, we kind of hinted our last episode that we were going to talk about Lover Fest. We have to give homage to Lover because August 23rd is the 5-year anniversary of when we got Lover. Let's talk about Lover.
Yeah, there were some awesome
Lover was
songs on there. It
amazing.
was, like we mentioned in the last episode, the first album she owned, and it was a real big aesthetic shift from Reputation. In fact, pretty much the opposite,
The opposite.
which Taylor is great at doing.
Yeah. I actually saw in an interview she talked about this. She was like, I almost named Lover Daylight, but I thought that was going to be too much of a juxtaposition or like opposite of Reputation, like too clear, too see-through of a name because Reputation is obviously represents like darkness and Daylight would be just a little too obvious.
Too on the nose.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so
that makes
she
sense.
decided to do Lover for the song, and we all love it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's talk about some songs. Speaking of records that she broke, Cruel Summer has been streamed so many times, literally billions of times, and it is her most streamed song. It is not currently the most streamed song. Apparently, that is held by Blinding Light by The Weeknd.
Blinding Lights, yeah.
Okay. But Cruel Summer was one of those songs where it just kind of came back and everybody started listening to it again. And I mean, it's a bop.
It is bop. Do you feel like the Eras Tour helped that out?
I think so.
Because she really hypes up like you better know this bridge like the back of your
Oh
hand.
yeah. And I do.
I sort of do. I'm working on it, okay? I do know it, but I get all jumbled. I get jumbled, so
It's fast.
I'm not cool.
Another song on that album, Cornelia Street, again, right from her actual life.
Yeah.
She had an apartment, or was it a townhouse?
It's an apartment
Apartment
on Cornelia Street in New York, and it can be yours if you want it. It's available,
for
but it's
rent.
50,000 a month.
Yeah, so if you can afford that, invite us, please.
Do it.
And then let's see, another song is Me, which has gotten so much hate.
It's a little controversial.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brendan Urie. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong.
I think that's right.
um, Apparently he had some hate going on around the time that came out, which did not help. But it's a fun
It's so
song.
fun. And
Spelling is
I
fun.
think spelling is fun. I think that came out right around this time where like the self-love movement was super strong. And so it was a perfect song for the
Mhm.
time that it came out. It was perfect. It was so fun. It was like all those like unicorn vibes that
Mm-hmm.
everybody
The
was
pink heart
really
around her
into.
eye, everything. Okay, not everything,
It
but
was neat.
so many of the songs are nice, high energy. I
Yeah.
Forgot That You Existed, Cruel Summer, The
Hmm.
Man, Paper Rings, Cornelia Street. Actually, Cornelia Street's not that upbeat.
Cornelia Street's not, I mean, it's kind of an upbeat, but it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Just
But
good at that.
it has like this fun, like free spirited vibe, which really lends itself to like a festival.
Mm.
That's my segue into
Yeah.
Loverfest, by the way. Loverfest. If you don't know what Loverfest is, that makes sense because it
I
never
didn't.
happened.
I didn't know what it was until you mentioned it, just saying, but I've done my research now.
Mhm.
But I had never heard of it either.
It was an interesting concept and apparently very confusing too.
Hmm. So she announced the tour on her website on September 17th of 2019 for this tour to be happening in the year 2020. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
you all know where this is going. So originally it was supposed to be Loverfest West and Loverfest East. So LA and
Foxborough.
Foxborough
Mm-hmm.
and
In
that was
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And she actually was going to be the opening act. It was going to be the grand opening for SoFi Stadium of Taylor Swift coming to do Loverfest West.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to be, this like breaks my heart a little bit. She was going to be the first woman artist in history to open up a football stadium. How freaking cool is that?
So
But it didn't get
close.
to happen.
If you recognize the name SoFi Stadium, it was where the Eras tour was recorded.
Yeah, which was a way cool stadium.
Oh
It is a way cool stadium.
yeah. For
So she had those two, East and West, and then there was 10 European dates, and then it was back to North and South America, but there's only like 17 total dates, I think.
yeah, there was going to be another one in Brazil
Oh
as
yeah.
well.
And that was going to be her very first time performing in Brazil too.
Yeah. But
Um,
we all know what
what?
happened in 2020. It was going to kick off in April of
Yeah.
2020. So, right at the height of a lot of sucky COVID stuff.
Yeah.
So, Taylor put out an announcement first saying that it was being pushed back, and then saying, okay, we're going to cancel this tour. But
Yeah.
before it was canceled, we were given a good amount of information. People were really looking forward to it.
It
Uh,
sounded so fun
yeah.
and really cool, although there weren't like very specific dates. Because at one point it was also changed to be Taylor and Friends, and no quote unquote friends were ever announced. And no artists have come forward saying like, "Hey, I was going to do Loverfest."
Mhm.
So we really don't even know who was going to be involved in that. The tour dates were kind of announced like sporadically, like kind of chaotically, but it came out later that Taylor's mom had cancer again for the second time, and she was just really unsure
Mhm.
of being gone all the time, wanted to be around in case something happened.
I don't blame her for
Yeah.
wanting to keep it a little more low key, which looking at the design, the final concept of the
Mhm.
stage, um, makes sense. It was a heart right in the middle of the stadium, which makes sense because that makes it so that you could fit more people
Hmm.
in the stadium because you have people all the way around. Currently in
Hmm.
the Eras tour, you have a big chunk of seats in the back that aren't being taken up just because that's the back of the stage. Now, I'm
Yeah.
sure people would sit there, but they don't sell those tickets.
Right.
And so it makes sense you could really bring a lot of people in because the stage itself was not only, in the middle of the stadium, but it was also a little small.
Yeah, it was
Just
kind of small.
looking at the diagrams, and we'll post something. We'll post a picture in
Yeah, check our
the
Instagram to
yeah.
see because we'll post a picture of what that stage was going to look like. And maybe even there was another stage they had originally kind of
Mhm.
designed. It was something in between Reputation and the 1989 stage. And so there was speculation because I saw some clips of the 1989 stage. The catwalk actually like rose up and it would spin around.
Mhm.
And so there was some
Oh,
speculation that her lover stage was going to do that
oh
too, which
yeah,
would have
that
been
that stage
so
was
cool.
totally gonna spin. I know
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, just a
And
heart in the middle. What else are you gonna do with it?
obviously spin it.
Yeah.
Now, none of her outfits were ever revealed, but
Mm,
I just know that they would have been amazing. Sparkly pink,
yes.
blue, tons of pink. I just know
And
it.
I think that like all of her outfits for her other eras are reflected in the Eras tour,
Mhm.
at least a little piece of each era. And so I think we get a pretty good taste of
Yeah.
what she was envisioning for her lover outfits.
Oh yeah, the lover
We got the man
bodysuit,
jacket and yeah, the bodysuit, so
sparkles,
beautiful.
rhinestones.
Yeah,
It it would have been amazing.
the boots.
Oh my God.
The boots. So good. Yeah.
The outfits I just know would have been mermaid, unicorn. It
Yes. Yeah.
and her hair. I wonder how she would have had her hair because in the poster,
Interesting.
she had the blue
That's
tips,
right.
uh, like on the album cover. But it would have been it would have been amazing.
Would have been.
But I
And we're
doubt
sad.
we're sad.
We're
But I
sad.
doubt we would have gotten the Eras tour.
I definitely think we wouldn't have gotten Folklore and Evermore in
No.
the capacity that we got them, right? Like even if she had just postponed to 2021, we wouldn't have like been given that opportunity or chance to like fall in love with the Folklore and Evermore albums the way that we were, you know?
Hmm. There was a lot of good art that came out in 2020 because
True.
people were in a place.
Yes. This
So
is
we
very
got
true.
Folklore and Evermore because Taylor, like everybody else, was in her bubble, writing Betty and The Last Great American Dynasty and The One and all those beautiful songs. What are the lyrics I'm thinking of from Thank You, Amy? There wouldn't been this if there hadn't been
You.
you. So, what do you guys think? Would you have gone to Loverfest?
Or did you buy tickets? Because a lot of people
Mm.
did buy tickets
Yeah.
and they were refunded by Ticketmaster, apparently. It looked like there was the opportunity to get refunded up until they officially canceled it more than a year later, which is
Mhm.
wild to me.
So
And
many things got pushed back during
yeah,
COVID.
it's true. We all were just like, oh, okay, here we go again. And
Mhm.
oh, here's another thing. Yeah. We don't need to relive that though.
Please no.
Well, I loved that. I really loved learning about Loverfest. It just is another thing, another way to like dive into Taylor's brain a little bit, which I
Mhm.
love.
Mhm.
She really just has the coolest brain, and we are all lucky for it.
She's just so smart and
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
Her concerts are very important to her.
Hmm. Hmm.
She wants you to have an experience, and she puts a lot of love and care into them. And
This
so,
woman is a billionaire and she still shows up for her job every night and kills it for 3 hours straight. I think she cares. Yeah,
and she just wants everybody to have a good experience.
she does. You can tell she cares. She's always looking out for people who need help in the audience and gets really angry when they don't get their help
Oh,
that they need. Yeah,
yes.
I love
That
her so much.
that is my favorite. We need help over here. Over
Mhm.
here. And she
Right in
just
front of
point
me.
with their guitar.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, Loverfest, the Taylor Swift concert tour that never was.
Never did happen. It's sad, but we got a lot of great things out of it.
We got the Eras tour. All right. So we always like to end with this week in Swifty history. And at the time we're recording this, September 1st is coming up. And on September 1st, 2006 is the first time that Taylor Swift performed at the Grand Ole Opry. And if you don't know what that is, no worries. I knew very little about it other than I know Dolly Parton has performed there a lot. That is
Yeah.
another crossover I would love to see is Taylor and Dolly.
Oh my gosh, that would be beautiful. I would love that.
Taylor Swift was 16 when she performed at the Grand Ole Opry, which is a legendary country music venue in Nashville, Tennessee, known for its longstanding tradition of live radio broadcasts and performances. It's hosted a huge range of iconic artists like Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton, like we mentioned, and Garth Brooks. So Taylor started out in country, so obviously this was a really big deal for her. It gave her a great amount of credibility in country music. It gave her really good recognition because this was just before debut came out.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely boosted her career, and it had a lot of personal significance for her. I mean, it's one of the biggest country venues out there, and that was an amazing achievement for a 16-year-old girl to have.
Absolutely. I didn't even realize that was before debut came out. So
Yeah,
that's a huge deal.
yeah. And it made her absolutely legit.
Hmm. And I know because they moved to Nashville to pursue her music career. Like Nashville is a has a very special place in her heart, and the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, yes, it is world renowned, but it's a really big deal to the people of Nashville too. It's one of their treasures, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift is and should be very proud of that. Just like a month and a half later is when debut came out. So it was a really
Ah,
good place to set the stage for the beginning of her country music career.
amazing. Well, thank you for that
Of
bit
course.
of history. Swifty, what? Okay.
Swift story, the Swift
Yeah.
story, Swift story.
Swift story. I like it. You know how people say her story instead of
Mhm.
his story? It's Swift story.
Swift
Yeah.
story.
Swift story.
So a nice little bit of Swift story for you right
Yeah.
before Taylor really took off with
Took off.
debut.
Yeah, I love that for her. I had seen just a couple of like baseball games that she performed the national anthem at, and I thought that was really sweet. And I know also like the Bluebird Cafe is
Mhm.
somewhere she got to perform before she got big. I think that helped as well make her name in Nashville for sure. And I think that's all we have for today. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like talking about Loverfest. I
Yeah.
like thinking about the what could have been,
Mhm.
but I'm so happy to have the Eras Tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I was just gonna say, for those of you listening, if you have suggestions of what you want us to look into and talk about, we are happy to do it. We love deep diving into anything Taylor, and even I think a little, we can go a little bit Taylor adjacent, but we
Yeah.
don't want to stray too far. So yeah, let us know your suggestions of what we should talk about. We also want to do some Eras Tour outfit highlights.
Yes.
So please send us your submissions of your Eras Tour outfits, even if you're not going and you just have like a really good outfit that you could have worn.
Oh, yeah.
Please send them to us on Instagram. Our Instagram is Swifties at Midnight Pod, all one word.
Hmm.
And just DM us there. Go follow us and DM us and show us your outfits, and we will highlight them. I think we should talk about them on the podcast, but then
Oh, yeah.
we can put them up on if we put this on YouTube, or we can just put it on our Instagram. I think that would be a super fun little segment to have and to share all the fun.
Yeah, I love seeing other Swifties. And
Yes.
if you didn't get to go to the Eras Tour, show us your outfits. If you did go to the Eras Tour, we want to hear about it and we want to see your
Yes.
outfits.
Yes. Yeah. If you see my TikTok that we were talking about earlier, I tried just dealing with what's in my closet. If I were actually going to the Eras Tour, I would probably definitely put a lot more effort into my Aerosaur outfit, but I did give some very vague ideas of what you could
I
do.
was
guess.
very impressed by the short turnaround time that you had.
This was 5 minutes in my closet being like, okay, what speaks reputation to me? What speaks debut or fearless? It was fearless.
I think Fearless was my favorite.
Thank you. I think it was mine too. So I want to see all of your guys' outfits too. And we will totally put those on Instagram. So, okay. Thank you so much again for joining us. Please subscribe if you loved it. We hope this episode made you feel like you are ready for it. Don't forget to leave a review. Your feedback never goes out of style. If you loved what you heard, hit that subscribe button and share it with somebody who's gorgeous. Tune in next time for more great content. Until then, stay in your wildest dreams and have a fantastic day.